And welcome everybody into the recap of the 2022 backtesting session. If you stayed with me for all the 30 review sessions, you probably already know what I'm talking about, but if you did not, this is my main recap of the backtesting that I did. So as you can see, I only have two trade setups. One is the break and retest, the second one is another break and retest. As you can see, we can see clearly over here these two examples on the bullish side and on the bearish side. As simple as that, price is moving bullish as a pullback, breaks and retest the last highs. This is very important to be the last highs. That's the setup. A candle closes over there. This setup can easily go into a stop loss, and it's okay. I don't want it to be result oriented, but more of process probability oriented. This is positive hedge, positive risk to reward and win rate setup. Same is happening. So the price is trending on a bearish side, breaks the last low. This is the last low. There you go. Retest it. A candle closes over there. That's the setup. Doesn't matter where it goes next. Why do I say the last low and not just simply the previous low or something? You want to take the retest of this last low and not the retest of these previous lows. The other setup is simply still a break and retest, but is more of a reversal. So we can say that this one is in continuation and this one is a reversal. What does that mean? Is that we have now price is a bullish trend. Maybe we take this break and retest as part of this setup. Maybe it goes to profit, maybe it does not. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, this is possibly can easily be the continuation of this setup. We see that market is creating a structure. It's very important that it is. In case a support, and when this support gets broken, we wait for the retest of the last lows and we wait for the retest of the last highs. This is sort of an example because if you were waiting for this lowest low, you would probably take an entry with this little candle. But what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting the retest of the last lows and not the previous ones. So in this case, in this example, it actually makes sense, helping us to understand what I mean with that, last lows and not simply the lows. So the rules of this setup is that I don't need any key level. I don't need to look at the high time frame. I don't need anything. I simply look at the price action, candle break and retest, and that's it. Last lows or highs, not the old ones. Any candle closing over here, that's an entry. Yes, it's very important to understand the fundamentals because especially on gold, there are fundamentals that bring more volatility and volume, and if there's a high impact fundamental happening in 30 minutes or in 20 minutes, I need to be aware of that and be aware of what is the possible impact of it. But if, for example, as we saw it multiple times during the review, we have the jobless claims coming very, very bad, the inflation decreasing a lot, and yada yada yada, and I'm expecting gold that from here is pushing up, and I keep seeing this price action. I don't want to keep buying just because I marry the bias. No, I want to, okay, I know that there's this impacting report, but what is the market telling me? There's also this saying that fundamentals, that's something that I want to say. If there's a fundamental that is saying something, I don't have to say, no, it has to go up, so I'm only buying. No, the market is telling you that the impact is bearish and you're seeing break and retest. So why keep thinking about buying and possibly missing out on many moves just because of your opinion? That's not good. Another thing is not the end of pullback, but for example, if we see that something like this is happening in a more complex way, which is most of the times, you don't always have this price action because maybe you have a more complex bearish run where it's like this and then is retesting the last low. In this case, I'm not entering over here, but I will wait to enter at this setup, but over here at the break and retest after the end of pullback. So that's quite a situation that you will always find, but that's often find. And yeah, that will be the entry, this situation. not entering at the end of pullback, trying to catch the falling knife, but after you have the confirmation, that's it. Because maybe think about this setup coming after a strong bearish movement, something like this, where you had this movement before that. These last lows are being retested, but I will not enter at this end of pullback, because now this is not a break and retest anymore. I will not enter here, but I will wait for the confirmation that this is actual end of pullback before entering the break and retest lows. So it's a reversal always on the lower time frame, and I don't care. I'm not looking at the high time frame. This was another question that I was asking myself. Volume or size of the candles matters. If the breakout is not that nice, maybe you have a situation where should I enter anyway or not? The answer is yes. Is the price staying above? Is this an entry? Is that a breakout? Yes. I don't really have to have this nice perfect candle. I don't think that it matters. And now I just wanted to show you the statistics. So in this year of backtesting, I took 904 trades, as you can see, with a win rate of 52%, and you can see how many losses, how many wins. And due to the fact that it's a 3-to-1, basically this is also a 2-to-1. Because due to commissions, I did this chart 2.5, 1% risk. The compound effect is absolutely huge. It's just like in the last 200 trades, you do 10 times more than what you did in the first 600, 700. I have a little check. You can see, for example, in this one, this is very clear. It was good to enter at the last lows, not at the old ones. You can see how this is the old lows. The last lows are this one, and you can see how it gives us the perfect entry setup with actually a winning trade. How important it is to wait for the retest of the last lows and not the old ones. Okay, really, I have to change the way I trade, and because these are the last highs, you can see this market structure, and taking the entry solely based on the previous one does not make sense. If you actually take the retest of the last one, you can have the win. This one will be a loss. That's the so now I wanted to show you some setups very quickly. This, for example, is a break and retest on the downside. You can see how it's not really important to have a strong breakout as long as the price clearly shows us a break and retest of these last lows. This is the last low, this is the old one, they are matching. That's a good setup. Same thing, as you can see, this was the previous setup. We can take the reversal. This is the example where I show you the reversal trade setup. Price was going bearish, but we see an exhaustion. Price is breaking and retesting the last highs, and that's a good setup. Here, this is a good setup because price is aggressively breaking and retesting the last highs. The outcome is not relevant. This is the same setup. As you can see, price is aggressively breaking and retesting the last highs. Break and retest of the last highs. Aggressive break and retest of the last lows. Break and retest of the last highs. Slow but still now break and retest of the last lows. Break and retest a little bit more complex pullback to the last lows. Break and retest of the last highs. Break and retest of the last lows, not the old one. It's more slow but break and retest of the last highs. These are the simple rules. No key levels, no high time frame, price action, last low, highs, any candle that's closing over there. Fundamentally, you have to take care of them, understand them, but not really marrying the bias. No end of pullback, but the next break and retest after that. Volume, size of candles, and yeah, that's basically it. Stick to it, 50% win rate. Even though this is of course ideal, this is the possible. This is a possible huge gain. Because this is over 1 year,